My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 41. I was brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. Both twins were dead, I later found out, a lot later, in 1983, after I ran in a political campaign against Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, whose plane was shot down by the Russians when it veered into their airspace August the 31st of 83. I'm going to show some backup in just a minute, which I've put on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. But the plane went down then. It veered into Russian airspace. And Larry McDonald, Congressman Doctor, he was from Atlanta, urologist at Piedmont Hospital. I'd written about in the medical malpractice book, MD, A License to Kill. That's the same time that Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was doing the book in Marietta. And Larry McDonald, there were murders that happened there, forensic at the hospital, concerning the hospital. And I won't get into those. I've already done it. One of the murders was pathologist Warren and Rosina Matthews. They were killed, shot in Cobb County. And they were forensic pathologists at Larry McDonald, the hospital where he worked. And I understand his family, well, I don't know that for sure, but anyway, he was urologist there. So the plane goes down. I've written about him. Got a letter from the FBI, the U.S. Attorney William Harper, June the 23rd, 79, and I'm leaving out all the hell on a daily basis and laws that are so horrifying. You talk about terrorists. Every day of my life has been terror. Laws broken that should be before a world court, except the very people I'm speaking of that committed them against me control the world court. The war, they didn't mind going after the Germans, but they do not want to tell what was done to me. And so I'm going to start here. It's easy to get up and wear beautiful clothes and flounce around all over the world and come right through Virginia where I'm living on the Appalachian Trail, starving, freezing, have not committed a crime, using a dead person's ID. They gave me the name. I'm going to show it real quick. At least I'm going to show part of it. State of Alabama. I got this after I found out after 83. I was thrown out at Flint's because he had been shot and the person was programmed to shoot him. So that I'm going to show the twin Carl. Now then, Carl, they even changed it on the Peggy, which is the name I have to use. They were born in 38. They really were, and they changed it to January the 7th, 39, because that's the one I had always used. They never thought anybody. I'm a hostage. They thought I would be dead or nobody would know about it, where I was. Anyway, they changed it so it coincided with the date of birth that I had used. Now then, they come back to the state of Alabama, and I'm just going to show this part of how they did this one. First of all, you're not supposed to cross out anything and redo it on birth certificate. That's passport and all that, legal documents, which it's a dead person, all right? The twins are dead, killed by their mother. I want to say this now. They were illegitimate. Back then, you called it, I was called, when I came there, they stole my identity. When they kidnapped me, Kennedys were part of it. He was ambassador to England, appointed by Roosevelt. My own uncle, George VI, illegal. Thus Elizabeth, and thus this whole bunch of thugs that makes the Windsor name sound sick. I watched this and what's going on. They're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites and thieves, traitors. So that I don't get off on the wrong track here again, I don't have someone doing mine for me, getting on here and having it. I live in a hellhole where it last night and the last, I don't know when, I've been soaked. They made me sound like if people don't care to listen, like I'm off the wall or something. Well, it couldn't be further from the truth. I am allergic to chemicals. and I have an immune disorder. My immune system attacks itself when I'm force-fed, and that's exactly, there's no other word for it, chemicals. I've put law enforcement's names on here. I didn't even said that to me since they've made my word no good. I've put everything on, or a lot, on YouTube that showed what they've done to me. When I would move somewhere, I'd lose my deposits, and it makes me look like I'm running around flaky, and yet I've got all this. And by the way, it's a question about who controls my phone, okay? My phone goes back, I don't know how, tonight, before the antifreeze was put in me, April Fool Day of 80, because that's what this has all been, taking down the British Empire, the United States, and the Jews. Can I say Jew? Because you should see what they did to me, an innocent human being who the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, illegal George VI, and Elizabeth has stood by and used my money, gone right through Virginia when I'm on the Appalachian Trail starving and freezing that summer. Well, I did it quite a few winters. And it's when the Virginia Tech shootings happened. And that's one of the mind control shootings I was telling about over time that happened. And, yes, some of them can be proven, like Larry Flint's, too. But I want to get back to this. This is from the state of Alabama to show you what they can do. They can even deliberately mess up a birth certificate, like saying, here, everybody, what are you going to do with it? It references the birth of the twins, and this was sent to me when I asked for the birth certificates, which they gave me that ID. And it's saying here that, well, that Dr. Irwin that delivered the twins, and it said 38, he just entered the date of birth wrong, the correct date, so they did that to January 7th, 39, to go along with the date of birth they gave me, and I'm just showing Carl's. Now then, this is George VI, Elizabeth's father, here with Roosevelt. Here's the supposed Queen Mom, which is a lie. My father was married. This is King Edward VIII, my dad, who married Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister. I don't have a picture of my mom. They've even gone back and changed some of the photos in the O'Keefes. This is my Aunt Georgia. And my father was never married to the American spy and whore. By the way, in all this write-ups where they call my father name, like in here and all that, they use the word whore and what they've lied about him. This is not my father. Get it through your head. This is not my father that married this bitch. This is, I don't know what this had to do with it, the Spencers, only it has something. This is Earl Winfield Spencer, Wallace's first husband. She was married to a double, not my father. The whole thing was a lie. And then I was born in this, they're planning my kidnapping here in 39. He's just been to Canada. This is the illegal George VI, the one that made the movie and they deleted all the truth and made him out to be a good guy. He helped take down his own brother, knowing that he was married to my mom. My mom, by the way, was a school teacher, and she wasn't accepted by part of the Windsors, specifically my grandmother Mary. So this is the kind of people that you honor. The hypocrites. I watched this person and talking about his two sons and talking about cyberbullying and mental health. I got bullied and called names and lived in a pigsty growing up, so abused where they put me. I'm the real monarch, Victoria II, and kidnapped, and that's on the addendum that my father put to a forced abdication, and I'm told, yes, it's legal. But it's getting it unsealed, a 99-year seal put on it. So you tell me that these bunch of thugs who are letting the British be invaded. They helped bring it all about with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Illuminati. She is a member of